Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. And what I desire to talk about today is something I've been hearing a lot about right now, and I think it's an important topic to talk about because of the fact, just like what's in the title, there are no excuses. And the reason why I say there are no excuses is simply there is no excuse for how we treat humanity in this world. We make excuses based off our laws, our regulations, due to our morals, to fill in the void of this is the right way to treat people. What am I talking about? There is something going on in America right now where people who are crossing the border are being separated from their family and being put, I believe they're called, into detention camps or detention centers. And many of these children have no way of getting back to their family and everything, and they're being torn apart. And some people's excuse is saying that these children are actors. Some people's excuse is that this is the law. To me, it doesn't matter what you say. And the one thing I take very seriously about anything is the fact of how you treat humanity. We are so detached and desensitized by what humanity is that we are willing to tell people and make the excuse that it's okay for us to do these things to other people because of how we feel. They're not telling the truth. And we are all of this happens because of what we're watching. We like to, for example, something also came out about gaming being an illness. And my thought process, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, we'll talk about this in a later video, but the truth is, if you're going to talk about gaming, you're going to talk about comics, you're going to talk about comic books, you're going to talk about movies, you're going to talk about TV shows, you're going to talk about commercials, you're going to talk about books, you're going to talk about all those things because they too play a role in desensitizing us from caring, desensitize us from seeing things as they are. We feel, though, that we have the greatest country or the greatest people or the greatest race, and yet we are so desensitized from changing our own ideals to see things for what they are and being humane, being a human, being loving, being unconditional love. We are only willing to see things the way they are in our own eyes. People see what they want to see. They don't see people as human. We see them as other creatures who are not us, and we have a complex of superiority, believing that is who we are. And I made a video on this, that superiority is an illusion. There is no excuse for people acting like that because of who you are. It does not work. What you are seeing right now, if you are listening to this and so on, these children crying out for their parents, these children crying out for their uncles and aunties. There is no excuse to name call these people or anything. So to anyone out there who feels that way, to people who are a part of the cabinet of Congress or whatnot in America, who are a part of that, there is no excuse. We are not being humane. We're being desensitizing. It's important you see within yourself why you should open up the self and love the self and love those around you. Because you have to understand, you are separating families that love each other. And we are thinking to ourselves that only because of our rules and regulations that these people shouldn't be in our country, it's a bad thing. But we're not thinking, does it work to separate a family from another family? Does it work? That is the question you have to ask yourself. Does it work to do that to someone? And the truth is, it doesn't. And what it can do in long term is cause more problems than solve more things. So you are now not only using the illusion of superiority that I've also talked about, you are also using the other one I talked about, which is separation. You're separating yourself, believing that they aren't us and they are not welcome to be us. And we are not willing to change for that. You live in a world of separation, but the thing is, it is important to see change, growth, evolution, and loving one another. You are one and the same. You are all one. Treating each other differently based off of color, treating each other differently based off some excuse of loss, treating each other differently just to say that people are acting. The insane people out there are you who think those things instead of seeing things for what they are. We live in a world of judgment and we need to grow unconditional love and fairness of who we are. There's no excuse for not loving humanity. There's no excuse to judge someone no matter where they are from. It's understandable why every person, no matter who you are, even the people who say those things, have that point of view. But at the same point, there is no excuse because it does not work. What works is being fair, unconditionally loving, and growing and evolving us. Remember who you truly are, because to know the gods, the goddesses, and creators within, you have to look within yourself. You have to see that beauty. You have to see that love. You have to see that divinity within who you are to know you are the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within. So I'm going to leave it here for now. And we'll probably have another discussion later about this. But to everybody out there, have a good morning, have a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. Namaste.